Joining me now is California Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell, a member of the House Intelligence, Judiciary, and Homeland Security Committees. Congressman, it's great to have you back on the program. Let's talk about the progress in your state there in San Francisco. What's your reaction to how it's playing out, and what are the lessons that are being applied in San Francisco that could be potentially applied elsewhere? Are you dealing with a different population base? Is it the messaging from the officials? How do you explain it?
It has to be like a city bus. You can't miss a vaccination site. In San Francisco and actually Alameda County, just next door where I represent, that is what we aspire to have, is that vaccination sites are not only at the Oakland Coliseum, for example, that's one of the mass vaccination sites, but also at churches, in communities that traditionally would not have resources invested in them, the ones that have been hit hardest by COVID, dispatching resources there. We had an effort in my district to dispatch mobile vaccine sites to many of our Black churches where, rightfully so, there is hesitancy because of historical misuse of vaccines. I hope it is a model for the rest of the country, but it's also a benefit from the America Rescue Plan and the money that we put into vaccinations across the country.
As you probably saw, the New York Times writes that many experts now believe that herd immunity to the coronavirus is unattainable in the United States with, as you mentioned, vaccine hesitancy and new variants circulating. Do you think it's no longer an achievable goal? How can we address the flagging vaccination rates that we're seeing in this country?
Let's prove them wrong. And we have an opportunity to prove them wrong if we continue to invest in mobile vaccination sites. Now, herd immunity is a conception. It's not an actual number. But to have the community immune would mean that it would be less likely that the virus would be able to spread. It's also different than, for example, disease eradication. But without being able to immunize our children, 16 and under, because we don't have use authority for that yet, it will be a challenge. But once we are able to do that, let's invest in vaccination sites at our schools. And it's Teacher Appreciation Week right now, Eamon. So let's do everything we can to make sure our teachers are safe and the students they teach are safe. And just one other point, because we have a friend in our family who had some questions recently about vaccinations. And what I have learned talking to friends and family members, the worst thing you can do is to shame somebody or to lecture them or to scold them. The best thing you can do is to direct them to healthcare professionals. And I really would encourage people. CDC.gov, of course, has a number of ways to answer questions. But if you have friends and you have doctors or people in your community who are willing to talk to them, try and make that connection so that they can get the information they need and make a decision that gets them vaccinated.
Well, let me ask you about the intersection of politics and the pandemic for a moment. In your state, the political fallout over pandemic restrictions has fueled the recall against Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom. I'm curious to get your thoughts on this. Should Democrats coalesce around a recall candidate? How do you think this should play out from a Democratic perspective?
We should coalesce on a no campaign to oppose the recall, to recognize that this governor has faced issues that no governor before him has faced, with wildfire season after wildfire season, with a rising homelessness problem that's been tied to historic wealth gaps in this country, and of course this pandemic. And we now have the lowest, one of the lowest infection rates in the country as it relates to COVID. So let's come together and collaborate to make sure that not only the wealthy are doing better in California, but also people who were on the edge before this pandemic came. So yes, I'm going to coalesce around a no on the recall effort to keep Gavin Newsom as our governor.
All right, but if it does go to a ballot, should there be another option for Democrats?
No, I would not support that, because no would keep Gavin Newsom in office.
Okay, and let me just finally ask you, and we have about 30 seconds, Rudy Giuliani and the investigation on that front, if I can. NBC News has confirmed the Wall Street Journal is reporting that one avenue of the Giuliani investigation is whether he was involved in efforts to remove then U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch. As a member of the intelligence community, how serious do you see this?
Very serious. Giuliani led the smear and clear campaign for Donald Trump, and now it's important that independent prosecutors are able to follow the evidence wherever it may go. Maybe it goes as high as Donald Trump, but to do Rudy Giuliani no favors, to just sweep this under the rug, just hold him accountable as any other person would be held accountable, and to say that no one is above the law in our country.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.